When it comes to getting your finances under control, the right software can make all the difference. That's why I put Simplify versus Quicken head to head to find out which one actually helps you budget smarter, track your money better, and reach your goals faster. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one's right for you. Alright, so here's the thing. Before I committed to either tool, I did exactly what you're probably doing right now, and that's deep diving into Quicken user reviews. Not the glowing testimonials on their website, but the messy, real ones buried on forums and review sites. I came across this guy who said that Quicken is really not simple to use though, and that there was zero customer support service. I mean, that kind of feedback obviously made me pause when I was reading it, but after using the platform myself and really just digging deeper than that, here's the thing. That experience really seems more like an outlier now. For one, it was really hard to find more than a handful of reviews complaining about support, and most of those came from users who hadn't explored the in-app chat or community help features, I think. And on the flip side, many of Simplify's users rave about how this platform exceeded their expectations. I saw a review from a guy who said that he'd used Quicken for over 30 years now, 40 years, for his household management and business while self-employed, and now he only uses it for household management since he's retired. Alright, cool. He added that he loved how everything could just be updated with a single click. Talk about a long-time user, right? Another user who's been using Quicken for over 25 years, also a long-time user, called it the most comprehensive personal finance tool for tracking their family's expenses against a detailed budget. That kind of loyalty doesn't just come from nowhere. I mean, I've had moments where Quicken felt a bit much to navigate, but when I needed to pull reports for taxes or analyze my investment performance, it delivered like nothing else I've tried. Alright, now let's talk about what Quicken Simplify and Quicken tools actually do differently. So Quicken, being the parent platform here, leans into robust financial management. So I just started by adding all of my accounts. And honestly, I expected that to be kind of a pain, but it really wasn't. You just tell it where you bank or invest, and it just pulls your transactions in automatically. So suddenly, you're looking at your full financial picture. I could see where my money was going, what bills were coming up, how my net worth was trending, all of that. But what really stood out to me more was the categorization tool. So this isn't just some generic tagging system. It actually remembers how you like to categorize things in general. So even when I bought pet food at the grocery store, for example, and had to change it manually the first time, Quicken then remembered that for the next time I bought pet food. All right, and then setting up bills and income reminders just completely changed how I viewed cash flow in general. Before Quicken, I was always guessing how much money I had left after bills, but now it just forecasts everything, and it's not just some big guess. I mean, it straight up shows whether I'll dip below a certain balance week in advance. And the quick pay and check pay tools, game changers. I didn't think I'd care about paying bills from the app until I tried that. QuickPay lets you pay online through your linked accounts, and CheckPay physically mails a check for you. Old school style, but automated. The budgeting tool is super comprehensive. I was able to map out my spending plan, track actual versus projected, and get a heads up when I was going off course. This wasn't just helpful, it actually made me stick to my budget for the first time in a long time. And the mobile app was also really surprisingly good. I could categorize expenses from my phone while waiting in line, checking balances before impulse purchases, and get alerts when weird charges popped up. It syncs seamlessly with the desktop version, which, made my workflow smoother. Always good when that happens. The investment tracking feature is also quite impressive. Real-time quotes, the ability to manage stock options, track crypto, and even set up RSUs all built in. It felt like having a lightweight version of a professional finance platform, which isn't something I expected from what I thought was just a budgeting tool. Now, when it comes to Quicken Simplify, it takes a different approach here. It's more sleek and modern, and I think it's built more around, simplicity. The bills and income section is fantastic. You can see what's due, what's past due, and what income is expected all in one single clean view. And unlike Quicken, it doesn't just throw every possible data point at you. Simplify just keeps things simple and focused. The spending plan is probably the biggest highlight. It updates in real time as transactions come in, so you always know how much you actually have left to spend. This was so much more intuitive than traditional budgeting buckets. Simplify's watchlists lets you track specific areas in your spending, like dining out, online shopping, or entertainment. And those interactive graphs really helped me see some patterns. It was like seeing my bad habits just staring back at me, which is uncomfortable, but super effective. Their report section is another hidden gem there. You can slice your spending by payee, category, tag, or even get a clean monthly summary. It helped me notice things that I hadn't noticed before, repeat subscriptions that I forgot about, and that feature alone probably saved me $50 in the first month. Another thing I loved was the refund tracker. So I buy a lot online, and keeping tabs on refunds used, like, it was just like a nightmare. Simplify actually just watches for refund transactions so that I know what money is still pending. It's pretty small, but it's really helpful. All right, and I don't want to forget the savings goals. I set up one of these for like a weekend getaway, and it really helped me stay on track without feeling like restricted. You really get to move money visually into your goals, which gives a surprising sense of accomplishment after that. Bill Connect was also super handy. I linked up to my utility and phone bills, and the platform just pulled in due dates and amounts automatically. No more logging into 5 different billers to find out what's due. They even integrated Zillow to track real estate values. So if you own property, this is a really fun and functional tool. You get to look at real-time value changes, and it contributes to your net worth graph inside the app, so you can see that all at once. That's really something that even Quicken doesn't handle quite as seamlessly. So while Quicken by itself is like a financial control room with like every single tool possible, Simplify just feels like your more minimalist, smarter friend who just does everything necessary, still gets the stuff done really fast and really effectively. But you know what? Quicken and also Quicken Simplify aren't perfect. With Quicken, the one thing I noticed is that there's a bit of a learning curve, not because it's hard, but because it just does so much from the beginning. So like if you're coming from a super basic app, it can feel like a lot. But give it an hour or two or more and it clicks. Like I remember thinking, why didn't I switch sooner to this? There's so much. And Simplify, ironically, sometimes the simplicity works against it. Like if you're someone who wants to run detailed tax reports or manage business finances alongside personal ones, it's just not built for that. It focuses on personal budgeting, and that's its sweet spot. So I wouldn't necessarily call that a flaw. It's like a deliberate focus, but it's not for everyone. Here's the big part. What about pricing? Well, both Simplify and Quicken are subscription-based, and some might see that as a downside. I really just see that as like committing to constant updates and support. Quicken might come off as more expensive, especially if you go for the business or premier tiers, but honestly, that feature set justifies it. Simplify is more affordable, like especially for people who just want budgeting alerts and spending control. It's lean, clean, and a spending machine. And I'm kidding. It's worth it if you're just not like trying to do tax level reporting. So check the links in the description for their most current pricing plans. We do try to keep it updated with current promos and any discounts they're offering, so you can find the best deal available right now. But at the end of the day, I think choosing between Simplify and Quicken really just depends on how you manage money. Like if you want sleek, fast, and modern budgeting, Simplify nails that, but if you need some serious reporting, investment tracking, or business features, Quicken's still king. So check the link in the description of this video to get started with our special discount and coupon.